Hello and welcome back to Onderheim Zoo. So today, before we get into the building, I would like to do a couple of things just to kind of, we're getting really close to the end of this series, so I want to do kind of a little look at all of our animals, a little bit more of a detailed look at all of our animals. First thing today, just to kind of check out who's still around, how are our habitats doing, who's having babies, all that fun stuff. And I also want to take a look into our guest happiness rating because we're getting pretty darn close to that 5 stars. Guest education, I mean, it's pretty close. I don't know, it's hard to get 5 stars there. But guest happiness has always been quite low in this zoo, and I don't really know why. Whose welfare is bad? Yeah, there's just a bunch of stressed out animals. That's okay. But yeah, I don't know why everybody's so upset. So I don't know the best way to go about this. If you have any tips for me to help handle this in the next zoo, let me know. But I think if we go in here, we can kind of see people's thoughts, and a few people don't like the litter, but overall their thoughts are quite happy. Everybody wants to go on the zoo transportation ride, the safari ride, they like the scenery, all of that. So I don't know, but their happiness is still down. So obviously their needs are okay. It's not the best, but I don't know, it is weird. So if we just go into happiness, right? So where are all our upset people? Maybe there's just some groups of people who are really upset. What about what's wrong with these guys? It's hot. Their happiness is just down, but it doesn't really say why. I don't know, it's very strange. I guess maybe our zoo is just too big, but I feel like Naropa City Zoo is bigger. I don't know. Does seem kind of odd, but yeah, everybody every once in a while you just get these very unhappy guests because they didn't get to see the brown snake. Is that why they're upset? Is that why they're unhappy? I don't really know. It's very odd. I thought maybe the transportation rides would help, but everybody in this line is upset. Is it because they're waiting in line? Doesn't really say. Oh, this place sucks, just straight up. It's because they've been in line for 2 months. Weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to it's really hard to tell why people are upset in this game. That's one thing that I don't really understand much at all. The view from the African buffalo, okay, sure, so they didn't like the ride, or sorry, he didn't like the safari exhibit. But yeah, it really doesn't, I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't really seem like these thoughts are enough to trigger a 0 happiness rating, but I'm not sure. I don't really know. I guess I'm no expert in all of this. Yeah, these guys, I get that they get upset when they don't get to see all the animals that they want to, but I don't know. I thought maybe the rides would help, but maybe they don't. It's very strange. I don't know. Maybe it's, yeah. When they stand in line for a while, actually, it seems like they get quite upset. Maybe I need to, Maybe I need to fix the transportation ride times so that this ride just goes faster and they don't get backed up here, and therefore they don't stand in line for so long. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that didn't really help. So let's just take a look at our animals instead. You can keep animals happy. You can't keep people happy. All right, so in here we should have our very first animals that we ever put into the zoo, which are the meerkats. Let's take a look at who's still in this habitat. Oh, we only have 2 animals in this habitat. Okay, that's interesting. So we definitely need to redo our meerkat population, because I think since these were some of the older ones, we definitely didn't, they definitely died off. Yeah, okay, and these 2 are inbreeding, obviously, so we can't keep both of them. They're also getting a little bit old, to be honest, so maybe I'm just gonna get 2 totally new meerkats. I don't think we have any meerkats in here. Yeah, okay, so that was maybe my bad. We let the meerkat population die down without realizing it. But that's okay. Let's take a look here and see if there's a couple more on the market. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty easy to find some good meerkats. So, who's good? 13 years, that's quite a bit, but 9 years old? That's not bad. Size is okay. Okay. Oh, and you know what? Okay, I'm gonna adopt her, and I'm gonna adopt this guy, because they have opposite good traits, it looks like. I actually didn't even look at her. I didn't even look at her age. I'm so bad with that. I don't know why. Okay, she's 6. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so let's adopt these 2, add them to the zoo, and then I think what we'll do is, let's see here. So they're in a pack. She is already our alpha female, so maybe I'll take her off of contraceptives. Oop, no, not him. Where is she? There she is. I'll take her off of contraceptives just so that she can mate with the new male if she needs to. Because I think she's got, oh, actually her genetics are okay. All right, cool. So now this will let our meerkat population kind of blossom again. We'll have to remember to actually keep an eye on that over time. But here are our rhinos. So I think we've always had, these should be the original 2 rhinos. Where's the gate for this habitat? Oh, it's over here. Okay. Yeah, so we have their baby in the trade center just because, you know, you can only have 1 male, I think. But these 2 seem to be doing pretty good. They're getting a little older, but not bad. Oh, and she's pregnant again. Okay, so these guys take quite a long time to have babies. I think they've had 2 so far, but yeah, look how cute they are. Look at those rhinos. These are very original rhinos, still going strong. Taking a nap in the mud bath. Perfect. When are you expecting? November. Okay. So it'll be a little while. We do have, in case you ever I don't know, didn't watch every single video in detail and missed it. I do have aging on for these animals quite a bit slower. It's like 3 times slower. Just so that, you know, we could do the building without worrying too much about the populations. But I have a feeling the penguins are maybe, yeah. Everyone's infertile because they're old, I guess. Okay. That seems to be an issue too. Okay. Of course. So yeah, so these ones where they go and they populate for a long time, I tend to put them on, I get rid of the babies and then put them on contraceptives and all of that fun stuff. So it sounds like we need to get a couple more penguins in here. I did keep one, I don't know why. She's a little bit older as well though. Maybe we'll take a look. Yes, so it looks like there's one good penguin. He's also a little bit older, but not too expensive, so I think I'll adopt him. And then maybe, there's just not very many good rated penguins. Oh, actually, she's okay. Oh, that's from the same zoo, actually. Gotta keep an eye on that. These penguins are all from the same zoo. Okay, well, you know what? I think we'll add him in there for now. Actually, you know what? Let's add maybe both of them in here for now. Just in case she is able to still reproduce. And then, yeah, maybe we'll take a look once they actually get in here. All right, here they are, our new penguins. I think they're both in the same spot here. But yeah, we'll see how they do. I'm going to take her off the contraceptives. Just, I'm not sure if she's still infertile or not, but we have one male here at least. Is she infertile? It's actually kind of hard to tell. Let me double check here. Yeah, she is. So it must be her age. So I'll keep an eye out and get a second, at least a second female penguin, just so that we can keep this habitat going. But I'm not just going to sit around here and wait for more penguins to be on the market. I'll just keep an eye out and see if we can get any other good ones in here as we go. And next we have our safari, our great big safari. How fun. So let's take a look at what animals we still have in here. So African buffalo, it looks like we have a few of our original ones still. Ooh, the females are now infertile. Okay, so this is a good time to catch this. She's still young, so I'm thinking maybe we could put him on contraceptives, get her a new mate, maybe? That would be a good way to do it. So let's look for a male African buffalo. And of course there are no males. Okay, well, we'll need to deal with that sooner rather than later before she gets too old as well, but that's okay for now, because I'm pretty sure I can't breed these 2 together. They're going to be inbreeding, definitely. But, oh well. So where are they? Where are our African buffaloes? Let's just go take a look at her. Oh, over here. Everybody's over here. I like how the animals in the safari habitat kind of stick together. Like all of the African buffalo are over here. I mean, I guess this giraffe is kind of on its own, but you saw kind of all the zebras over there. Oh, hello. Welcome. How cute. Okay, so who's the next animal in this exhibit? This is a huge one. I don't think I'm going to do one like this again. It's a little bit hard to keep track. Black wildebeest. All right. Okay, so similar. These 2... Oh, actually, she can... Okay, so these guys can still have babies for a really long time, but... Let's see, where are you? You're only 5 years old. Maybe I'll see if I can find them a male. Let's see. Yeah, these options are not great. Actually, you know what? They're not that terrible. What are your genetics like? Oh, she's got really good genetics. Okay, maybe we can kind of get... Oh, they're so expensive, though. I don't like it when people put, like, kind of crappy animals on here. They're so expensive. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that, too. So we need a male African buffalo. We need a male black wildebeest. What else do we need? Oops, we're lagging a little bit there. Let's see. So next is, of course, our common ostrich. I think our ostriches are doing pretty good. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of, like, still fairly young breeding pairs, and a few in the trade center for later, so I'm not too worried about them. Let's see, warthogs. Ooh, our warthogs are getting kind of old, though. We'll have to put these two in the trade center once they age up. But yeah, they're okay for now, too. And let's see. Zebras. Okay, so... One of them is elderly. These two are still breeding. Maybe I'm going to throw these two in the trade center for now, just so that they don't age up until they're ready to, we can bring them back in here with a new male for breeding as well. Oh, the giraffes. Okay, yeah, the giraffes live a really long time, so that's fun. We've got our originals. I don't know. I guess she must be a breeder as well. I just didn't put a star next to her name, but I'm going to put him in the trade center because he's still young. We could possibly use him for breeding. We'll have to see as well. And we've got the sable antelope. So many animals in here. Okay, yeah. So we've got to find breeding pair in here for them too. Springbok. All right. Let's see. We've got 3 females, all with contraceptives, and 1 male. That's so weird. Okay. So Razzie either needs a new partner or we need a full new set of sable antelopes. Okay. Let's take a look and see what we have in here for them. Okay, so we have 1 young male who has a decent, pretty decent. I don't know why. I guess these all must be babies. He must have lost his mate. And these must all be his children, which is totally fine. It looks like we have 1. Oh, it says we have 1 more in the trade center. Where is she? I don't see her in here. Odd. Okay, I don't know. That's odd. Well, oh well. Okay, so we need to deal with our sable antelope as well. Or sorry, this is this. Oh, sorry. I'm confused. I'm looking at the springbok. There she is. So, ooh, she is a good springbok. Okay, so maybe we'll bring her in. How are these guys doing? You know what? Actually, I'm just gonna bring a new male in. Let's see if we can get a male springbok. Yes. Okay, here we go. This is what we're looking for. An animal who's cheap, has great stats, all of that. Ooh, look at him. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna adopt this guy here, and we will send him straight to this zoo. And then what I'll do is, just to give a little bit of overview of how we can manage all of this, I'm going to put him, Razzie, here on contraceptives, and I'm going to take all the other girls off of contraceptives, because that essentially should let everybody breed without inbreeding at all. And last but not least, of course, we have the gazelles. So it looks like we're having the same issue here. So how about we put him on some contraceptives and then we get a new male. Hopefully the new male will take over the alpha male status. I don't know. We'll have to see. So we don't need a new male springbok anymore, but we do need a Thompson's gazelle. Let's see if there are some on the market. They're kind of expensive. Wow. You know what? I think I'm just gonna leave it for now. I think they're gonna fight anyway, so we'll just worry about that a little bit later. But yeah, that is all of the animals in this habitat. I know it's a lot, but look at these little baby ostriches. Oops, where'd she go? There she is. Oh, look at her. It's so cute. I love that. I love their spots. It's so fun. And next on the list is going to be our fennec foxes. So I know these guys, we had quite a big population to start with as well. And I think they've probably gone down quite a bit. So where the entrance for this one is in a weird spot. It's like, I can't remember. Where did I put the entrance for this habitat? Where do the keepers come in? Oh, it's over here, right? I remember. There we go. So let's take a look. So we have like no more fennec foxes. So we have a young male in the trade center. So I think what we'll do, I can't remember. Oh, shoot. Okay, everybody passed away. Oh no. Okay. Oh wait, what's happening? All right, I don't know. Yeah, okay, so she must have just passed away. So this is a good time. We definitely need to repopulate this one. I just want to take a look at the Zoopedia for these guys. So they can do 6 males, 6 females. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look and see if I can get a couple more from the trade center for them as well. All right, and here are our new fennec foxes coming in. So here is Nara. Very cute. She is a little bit older, but that's okay. I think they live for quite a few years, so I'm not too worried about it. And who else did we get? We got... Oh, I think he was the one that was already in our trade center, so that's awesome. He will hopefully be a good breeding pair for everybody. So I think I adopted 2 females and 1 male, so we'll see this habitat hopefully bloom again sometime soon. It looks like we also got, oh yeah, okay, because we got some habitat species, awesome. So let's take a look at the next animal, which is going to be, who's in here? The wild dog, the African wild dog. Where's the entrance to this habitat? Here it is. So this one I haven't checked in a while. Yeah, so it looks like we have our original breeding female, but our original male has passed away. So why don't we get a new male for these two? Or maybe these two and her. They're getting a little bit older, but I think that's okay. Let's see if we can get another male. Ah, yes, this looks perfect. So let's adopt. He looks actually for 300. Yeah, I'm gonna adopt him before he gets taken up. We'll send him to the zoo here, and then we will take everybody off of contraceptives as well. All right, there we go. So hopefully that goes well. So we have Izoki here is coming back. I think that's her there. Yeah, perfect. So we'll take her off of contraceptives. And then I think we should have a pretty good set here. I don't know how, I mean, they should have a little bit of time before they age up, but we have Mama here who is elderly and infertile now. It looks like we have one of her first cubs. And then, we've got a few others here with our new male. So hopefully that goes well. Let's take a look at our hyenas next. All right, so who do we have in here? So we do still have our original pair, but they are old now and infertile. So that makes sense. It looks like we kept one really good female. So let's get her a male. And then I think we're just gonna have to wait until the pair passes away before we put the new ones in, because the old male and the new male aren't gonna get along very well. But that's totally fine. We'll just have them ready for when they do need to get put in here. Oh shoot, what are they called? They're the spotted hyenas, I think. Okay, here they are. So it looks like we have one decent male. Okay, no, since we don't need them right away, I'm gonna keep on that for a little bit later on. And the next habitat species that we have in this zoo are our dingoes. So I know these are still the original pair, but I don't know how they're doing. Oh boy, we have a lot of their kids in here too. Okay. Yeah, so they're both elderly now. It looks like they actually get along pretty well with, we should up their food quality. It looks like it's not really a problem having a bunch of them in here though, hey? Social, yeah, so it doesn't matter how many males and females there are, which is kind of nice. Maybe we will just, because these guys would all be siblings, so maybe we'll pick the best one out of them. I'll look through, see who the best one is, and I'll get them a new mate, and add them in here. Okay, so it looks like Sienna and Elijah are both pretty high up there on their genetics, but I'm actually curious about Matilda because she is so young and she's got really good genetics. So I think I'm gonna go for a male to add in here. So let's take a look. Ooh, yes. Okay, so we have one really good male here, a little bit. Oh, actually, we've got a whole bunch. Never mind. I spoke too soon. Let's go with this one's a little bit higher and a cheaper. Perfect. You know what? We're going to send him to the zoo and we're going to take the contraceptives off of all of our other females that are in here now. All right, here are all our dingoes now. So we have Joshua is our breeding male, and then we've got a bunch of females here. I put the other males on contraceptives as well, but hopefully he takes over the alpha status. I don't know how that works exactly, but we'll see. They still have a pretty populated exhibit, so habitat, so I'm not too concerned about it. All right, we're almost done. Let's take a look at the elephants next. Look at him there just sleeping away. Where was our entrance to this habitat as well? I always forget. I like tend to hide the entrances and then I can never remember where they are. Can I just, oh, there it is. Okay. Let's see. So we still have, yeah, I'm not too worried about this one. We still have our original breeding elephants and the babies are still babies. So now that we're getting to like our newer animals, I think there'll be a lot less maintenance to do here. Let's take a look at the camel as well. Yeah, these two are still breeding and their baby is still a baby. So we can't even move him into the trade center to save him for later or anything like that. Perfect. Let's go underground. All right, getting to the end of our animal, tour and maintenance situation here. Let's take a look at who we have. So aardvarks, I think these are our 2 original aardvarks. I didn't put the stars by them, but I'm pretty sure they are. So that's fine. They're still adults and they're still breeding and they've got a little baby in there. How fun. Can we see them? Where are they? Oh yeah, there's an aardvark. Cute. I don't know where the baby is, but that's okay. And then there's 2 more in here. So this is the binturong. It looks like somebody really needs to come to this habitat. Where is the entrance? There we go. So we can take a look at who's in here. Yeah, we have our original 2 and actually their baby aged up. So I'm thinking I'm going to send him to the trade center just to actually, how are his genetics? Oh, they're okay. And social is fine. You know what? Yeah, no, I am going to, what do I want to do? I'll keep him in here for now. I like more populated habitats. So we'll just keep him in here for now. He's not gold rated anyway, so we don't, it's not such a big deal to save him. But the Chinese pangolin, looks like everybody's hanging out here watching them. I don't see them, but they see them. Let's take a look. Yeah, okay, so we just have our breeding pair here as well. I must have moved their baby to the trade center because it was probably a male and they were fighting. And let's not forget to also put the binturong food back up to grade 3 quality. And last but certainly not least, we have our prairie dogs, which I'm not too concerned about right now because we literally just put them in the last episode. But yeah, we've got some research done so we can put them up. And yeah, we've got so many baby prairie dogs now. I need to make sure I go through and put them all on contraceptives so that when they do age up, they don't start inbreeding. But look at them all. Look how cute they are. Look at these little guys. I'm not over it. I'm not over how cute these little guys are. Very fun. All right. Well, you know what? I think that's all of it, really. I just kind of wanted to do a quick go through of all of our animals and all of that fun stuff. I know I didn't really look at our exhibit animals, but they're not all that. I mean, they're cool. They're cool. The exhibit animals are cool, but they don't need as much maintenance as the regular animals do. But yeah, I think that's about it. If you have any tips for me to keep happiness up in our next zoo, let me know. I don't know why people are so unhappy here. Oh yeah, I actually said that I was gonna try editing the transport rides a bit. I think it's just a matter of fiddling around with it. More than anything, I don't think there's like perfect settings. So I'll probably fiddle around with that a bit and I'll let you know if I come up with some good settings for this one. But other than that, I think it's about time we can just jump into the speed build for today. All right, you guys, welcome to our very last speed build for Onderheim Zoo. I don't think I quite mentioned it at the beginning of this video, just because I wasn't 100% sure yet how this build was going to go and how long it was going to take, or if we might need another episode to like actually wrap things up. But it did go well. I managed to completely, fill up the rest of the space here in our zoo, and this is gonna mark it as it. This is gonna mark it for the end of Onderheim Zoo, which I'm a little sad about, but also so excited about, so I can't be that sad. But anyway, so essentially what you can kind of see on the ground, I did outline a bunch of so what I was thinking, I basically outlined it in the dirt with the terrain paint tools, which is, a good tip, I guess, if it's something that you happen to have never thought of. I think probably a lot of people use it, but when I go to do a fairly big build or something that I'm not totally sure what I want it to be yet, I like to just paint it on the ground in rock or something, just put it at 100%, a size 3 brush, and just kind of map it out a little bit. So here we are, of course, doing the station for the track ride, our zoo transportation ride. And it's kind of cool. Well, essentially, as one quick thing here, I think I might have already mentioned it too, but this is just an extension of this Egypt area. So I'm using all the same, like I'm using a lot of the same buildings, all of the same style, all of the same colors, all of that sort of stuff. So I'm basically just filling this area in with those buildings, but I wanted to make the roof of this station be a place for guests to go. Because it's also going to be a very good viewing spot for the habitat, which you'll see once we kind of build that up as well. But yeah, I wanted this to kind of be the main pathway to go up on top of these buildings, essentially, to get around. And it worked out pretty good. I mean, people are coming up here. There is a lot of space in that building. I guess I didn't really think about it much. It might be too big. Our guests get a little confused and they have actually a hard time seeing the cheetahs from up there, but I don't know. I think it's fine in general. And I think I also did talk about this last episode, and I think I'd previously been going on about how I didn't want to make a path over ground to connect the entrance to this area, and I ended up changing my mind, as we do. But I think people are still going to go into the underground area because there are so many animals under there. And honestly, I think something that I've learned in this game, maybe it took me too long to learn it, maybe it was an obvious thing, but the guests just like more options for where they can go. I had originally started off this zoo, and maybe that's just like, I don't know, I think it's just a lack of foresight on my end, or like maybe just a lack of understanding on my end for how this game works, but I'm having a lot of issues with guests in this zoo just leaving unhappy. So like leaving before they can really finish, like see the animals that they wanted to see, essentially, I think is what's going on. And I designed this zoo. I thought I was brilliant. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this zoo one giant circle. So they have to go from the entrance to the exit, and they have to see everything in my zoo before they can go home. And it turns out Planet Zoo patrons don't seem to work that way. And I don't really suggest it. I think, from my understanding, I could be a little bit incorrect, and if you know better than me, please let me know. But from what I've gathered from trying to read into it a bit and experiencing it on here a little bit too, is they come in kind of wanting to see a couple of animals. Like they have a couple of favorite animals that they know your zoo has, and they want to see those. And if they have to leave before they can see them, they get upset about it, which was affecting our happiness quite a bit in this zoo. Honestly, probably still is, but yeah. So if it takes forever to get to like the dingoes, for example, in this zoo, and the one animal they wanted to see was the dingoes, they're going to leave before they could see them. They're only in the zoo for a certain amount of time, and I don't know how long that is. I don't know if that varies a little bit based on the person. But I thought originally that maybe they stayed forever if their needs kept up forever, but they don't. Either they will run out of money, or I don't know, maybe they just get tired and go, like, not even tired, like not tired like the energy bar, but I don't know, if they just go home after a certain amount of time, even if their needs are all full, they will go home. So yeah, so having more pathways to get your guests to where they want to go is better in this game. Who would have thought? Might be obvious, but in case you didn't know that, just like I didn't know that, there's a little tip for you. So I decided, that was a long-winded way of saying, I decided I would give the guests another way to get over here from the entrance if they wanted to, or get out of here if they wanted to. So yeah, I think in the next zoo, I am going to take that more into consideration. There was a lot of pathways in Europa City Zoo, which is why maybe I didn't notice it in our first franchise zoo. Because I did a lot of different ways to get around places. So I think loops are great, but maybe a bunch of smaller loops. I don't know. I'm gonna do a little bit of planning when it comes to the layout of our next zoo. Obviously, we're not, the first little while is just gonna be kind of entrance area stuff anyway. But yeah, I'll have to think about that a bit. But yeah, anyway, obviously in the building we're still building, or in the video we're still building here the station. All these roof pieces, I had it saved from the previous time we built this because I thought those little roof pieces they're just the signature of this area. So obviously wanted to keep those here. And you can see this extended out quite a bit. for the guests, and this is a huge area. So yeah, there's going to be hopefully, you know, people will traffic here a little bit more. We'll have to see. But yeah, for some reason, it always surprises me how long these big buildings take me to build. They're great because, like, I don't know, I get into it, I start building it, and then all of a sudden it's like a full 20-minute time lapse just on like a single big building, like that, like the Moroccan station entrance we did, or the Moroccan entrance station that we did last episode. It just, yeah, I couldn't believe that took up the entire like time lapse time, or speed build time. It just, yeah, these take forever. I think I'm gonna probably focus a bit more on smaller builds, smaller and more detailed builds. I think I want that to be the thing that we do in the next zoo. Challenge myself a little bit there, because I have built a lot of these really big buildings, but I'm often not as like satisfied by them as I am like smaller buildings. So yeah, I think, you know, this serves its purpose. I probably could have planned this out a little bit better and made it smaller, but you know, whatever. It's gonna act as a bit of a cheetah, a bit of a shelter for the cheetahs as well. So it's something that I did a lot of in this zoo, which I guess is kind of cool, but maybe it's the lazy way out. Was building shelters into buildings that were already here, right? Like I was thinking maybe they'll shelter back there as well. So yeah, I think that'll, I just need to put in some walls obviously, but yeah, that was pretty much the idea there. So here, I think we're gonna start putting in all of our buildings and stuff. So I took a bunch of the stuff that we had already built from over here and all of the like details and stuff. So I don't know, that's just, I figured why not? This was already taking quite a long time to build, so I just copy and pasted buildings, entire buildings, sometimes just like the doors from the buildings. It ended up being a little bit chaotic because I didn't really plan out properly where like the staff rooms were, and where the keeper huts and stuff were, but I think it worked out in the end. We have actually quite a few staff rooms in this area, but we have quite a few vendors as well, so we have quite a few staff that are going to need the staff rooms, so I figured it's better to have those, you know, everywhere. And the nice thing about having this sort of like hidden backstage area too is it acts as like scenery for the guests, but also like a way to hide your staff buildings. I don't know, this area just kind of worked out really well for the staff buildings. I didn't really have to like force them in anywhere like I felt like I always have to do, and it just kind of worked out well. Here we are going to start to notice, if you're watching the left-hand side there, or the left-hand corner, bottom left corner, we ran quite low on money for a moment there. And I think it was all kind of a flash in the speed build, but yeah, we ran to $0. So I took out all the loans, and that's why we're now back up to 70,000. And I actually had to pause this a few times and get the money situation back in order. This is the first time in this zoo since basically since the very beginning. Like, this zoo has always been a very profitable zoo. This was the first time since the very beginning that we had money issues when I was building. Like, I was just so not used to paying attention to the money while building. And I think it was because I kept on placing shops. Like, it was me being dumb, basically. Like, I was not paying, like, I was acting like this wasn't a franchise zoo. Like, it was a creative zoo or something. Like, I was just putting in, I was just copying pasting buildings that had like staff rooms and shops and yada yada, and just like, oh, I'll just delete them afterwards. And it costs you a lot of money over time putting that stuff in. Like, each of those buildings is a couple thousand. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do what I did. Get rid of the buildings, or like deselect the buildings when you go to copy and paste them over, you know, do the thing. So here, anyway, now that we have some money, here I was playing around a bunch with this track ride because I knew I wanted it to go through the habitat, at least for part of it. But I couldn't really, I was kind of like trying to imagine how the staff was going to get in here, with the track kind of like going underneath it. And then, you know, I started thinking, okay, well, what if we put the staff room on the other side and yada yada. Like, it took me a little bit of, this was me actively planning this out and trying to figure out what I wanted to do here. And then I thought this was like incredibly ugly and weird and didn't really make any sense. Also, I found out that I don't even know if it's in this video. It might be, but I also ended up finding out that the barriers on the track ride are not are not good enough to keep out the cheetahs. Which, I mean, they don't look like they're good enough to keep out the cheetahs by any means. I thought maybe they were some kind of like cool game mechanic where like animals couldn't cross it if it had the railings on it, but that's not the case. The cheetahs can just jump over it. So I had to play around with this quite a bit off camera and make sure that I had proper barriers and everywhere and all of that too. And they can technically jump onto the track, but they don't really. It's not like they're constantly sitting on the track and blocking it, so that's not really been a problem. It just kind of meant that I had to play around with the barriers a bit more, make sure that the entire thing was covered like by a proper barrier, and play around with the entrance and exits of the track ride too, how it actually plays into the habitat. But I'll show you those in the real-time part because I ended up changing it up quite a bit off camera. It was just tedious work. I also think that's one of the things that like made our money go down quite a bit, was opening and closing this track ride constantly for me to like make the edits to it. But yeah, either way, we're making money now. We're good to go. There's also shops in this area too, which I'm hoping will just kind of gather visitors over here. All good, but yeah, the rest of this little area here is basically just empty shell buildings. I kind of tried to make it look like maybe sort of like village outskirts back here. I don't know, I guess it kind of looks abandoned. It wasn't meant to look necessarily abandoned, but yeah, it's a little bit less dense, I think, than that like main city area. So we kind of have or like town area, I guess. Like we have downtown that kind of leads up to the temple and all of that, and then this area over here is just kind of meant to be the outskirts, leading out of the town or whatever it might be. So hopefully that kind of vibe gets across. I think it looks better with the foliage in, which you'll see in the real-time part as well. But the last couple of minutes here is just building up this top area. So I have it on play now because I needed to make some money again. So hopefully the people like moving around on the screen don't bother you too much. I know that's kind of like I usually do my builds on pause, mostly because I think those people are very distracting and weird, but hopefully it's not too bad for you. It's only a couple minutes anyway. But yeah, I wanted to make sure this top area had a lot of attractive things for our guests to come up here. And then I kind of figured, I actually think their pathing got redone. So I was noticing some issues here where the guests would not go to this edge, like they would not look at the cheetahs off of this edge for the longest time. And then like after a couple times of like closing and opening the game, not in a row, but just because I was working on it multiple times, it seemed to like kind of update the pathing, and they do now go to that edge. So I don't know if I needed to lower the railing down as much as I did, but I think the lower railing just kind of makes more sense so they can actually see over it. But yeah, that was a weird thing too. If you're having some issues like that with your guests where they just like don't seem to want to go to a part of your zoo, that would be my suggestion. Just like restart the game and see if it kind of redoes your pathing. I think because this zoo's so big, it might like, they might be a little confused. But yeah, the last little section that I'm going to be building here is, actually, do I build it? I'm pretty sure I'm going to build it here. Oh, obviously, yeah. So I'm playing around. Honestly, I don't even know what vendor buildings ended up here. There's a lot, but yeah, so this last little area that I'm building is going to be our education area, so I'll show you that as well in the real-time part. But I thought this would be a nice little viewing area if they didn't want to go up to the top and like look over them on over the roof. You kind of, I mean, it's obviously you have to view them through the track, but I don't know, I figured that was kind of better than nothing. Anyway, but yeah, I think the last of this is just basically a little bit of final touches, the railing on this walkway here, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I did most of the foliage off camera, unfortunately, just because it was a lot. And it takes forever, and this was already a long video, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope I showed you enough for this speed build, and let's take a look at what it looks like now. All right, here we are in the final little area on our zoo. So this is the entrance just off of the meerkats over here. Turns out this is a very popular route for people to take. I wasn't sure what it was going to be like. I guess it makes sense. I should have thought this through, but it's getting a little congested over there, but you know what? It's okay. we're just gonna leave it at this point. So back here is where the education stand is, and I don't know if there's a talk. Yeah, the talk's in December, so it's not gonna happen anytime soon, but here we can see some people just kind of looking into the habitat from here. I don't think this is a great place to view the cheetahs from, but apparently the people like it, so that's what really matters. They also have a couple of babies already, so we're gonna go and show them soon here too. So yeah, this is what kind of it looks like from in here. It is a little bit barren, like it does kind of look a little bit abandoned or whatever, but I don't know. I think the desert vibe, like, I don't know, I don't mind it. I think it's okay that it's a little bit empty. Yeah, I don't mind it. I also remember to light it up, so we have all these lights from the other area all around here as well, which is nice. And hopefully, I didn't check this place at night, but I think it'll be good enough. So if we come around here, there's a bunch of shops on this side here for the guests, and there are a couple more down here on the left as well. These both look like gift shops, I think. I don't know, I didn't actually pay very much attention to what shops I put down. Probably should have. But up this great big ramp here, which actually I'm kind of glad nobody's been stopping here to look at the cheetahs. I guess it's not a very good view of the cheetahs. But over here is where we can get our good view of it, even though the guests don't like this view. But I think it's a good view of the actual cheetahs. I wonder if they don't like it because of this? I don't know. But anyway, there they are. Oh, they've had 3 babies? Wow, I thought there was only 2. That's awesome. Okay, we'll check them out soon. But yeah, this is this rooftop area that has all the shops and some bathrooms and all of that for the guests. And I added this canopy here too. I think this area will look really cool at night, and it just kind of gave the guests a little bit of shade because everybody seems to be very warm in the sun in this zoo. But yeah, that's what this area looks like. I didn't decorate inside of the station here at all. I didn't. I think I will do it before the tour. There's a couple of little things that I have on my list that I want to just take off before doing the final tour for next week, but I'll put the flooring in here, and I also didn't make this a shelter for the cheetahs, so I do want to make this a shelter for the cheetahs as well, just to kind of, you know, make sure they have a little bit of area, and I think it'll look cool here too with like a glass wall. But yeah, I'll do that before the tour. You'll see it on the tour. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This area here, also a little bit plain, but I couldn't really build there, so it's okay. And this way is only staff buildings, so I mean the guests could go that way, but they don't, because there's nothing really back there. There's just a few staff buildings back there, and obviously a transformer way in the back there. And then here are another couple. These are the same ones. Couple of gift shops. Maybe I'll make one of those a drink shop or something. But yeah, and then this is the exit. This is where we get to the main Egypt part. And you know what? This entire area, there's tons more people here than there used to be. Like, it's still one of our more barren areas. Let's actually get out of here and just kind of take a quick overview of where our guests are at. I think if I go to, guest needs, we can kind of get a good idea of where everybody is. So we can see, obviously, the entrance is the most crowded area, but like, look how nice and sparse this is now. Like, relatively speaking, compared to how it was before, this isn't bad. We obviously still have a lot of people waiting in lines for this track ride, which is okay. For some reason, everybody's upset coming from... What are all these people upset about? Oh, because they're all on their way home. This is like the home path for everybody. So weird. Okay, anyway, well, maybe I'll think about guest happiness a bit before the tour too, see if we can get it up before then. But yeah, you can kind of see everybody's just sort of spread out at this point. Tatooine, I think, has always been our least popular area. Unfortunately, I don't know why exactly, but nobody hangs out in here. I guess the dingoes just are not a high enough ticket animal for people to want to like come here and see them. But yeah, everybody's in our lines. Our lines are huge. This safari area and the ride obviously is our most popular area. And then this entrance area, or this is the Oasis, is okay. Like, this one's bustling too. Like, this is a good number of people, I think, to be in an area. This is a lot. And then the rest of it's kind of not a lot, but you know, I think it kind of, I don't think it looks too bad. In the end, definitely learned some things in this zoo about the flow of traffic that maybe we can integrate into the next zoo, or maybe I'll just get some grand ideas and really just want to build whatever I want to build without regard for the guests. And that's a very valid way to build in this game too, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to the tour coming next week. I'm going to do a full tour. I think it's gonna be a little bit different than my last tour. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more motion friendly, like more motion sickness friendly, I think. So less like actual running around, more just kind of zooming into areas and like slowly tour walking them. We'll have to see how it turns out. I need to redo the like overall zoo map as well, and maybe I'll use that as like a, you know, oh, this is our overall view, and then we're gonna go into this area, we're gonna go into this area and see what they look like. It's kind of my plan, so hopefully I can pull that off. I guess you will find out next week whether or not that kind of works out. But yeah, as always, let me know your comments in the comment section below, and I will talk to you in the next one. Oh, I almost forgot entirely. Here are some sleeping cheetahs for anybody who happens to actually stick around until the very end of the episode. I said I would show you the cheetahs, but they are all currently sleeping in really weird places. I need to get them a shelter. But yeah, here they are. Here's our two babies. How cute. And I think I said, oops, my bad. I think I said that there was 3 babies, right? Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. So 2 of them are like spotless, which is kind of fun. We'll have to see what they look like when they grow up. This one's very spotted, so very curious. I wonder if it's just because they're females and this guy's a male, but we will have to see. Anyway, talk to you in the next one.